Because these two Sri Lankans, they change the attitude of South India towards Sri Lanka. Welcome back to Sri Lankan Cricket Podcast. It's been a while. We haven't recorded the episode for nearly 2 months. We did a couple of interview episodes, but that's about it. Cricket season here in Australia has finished and winter is nearly here. And sick kids, family commitments and all that got in the way of recording a podcast. But we are back and we're going to keep recording an episode every week. So welcome back, Bora. How have you been? Good to see you after a long
Good, Vida. Yeah, no, it's been good just having a break. Cricket's, like I say, cricket's finished here in Victoria. So just winding down a few things, work commitments, the usual, but good to be back recording an episode. Good timing, IPL Finals happening tonight. So we can look back on how the how the IPL's been. Few of the Sri Lankans, how they've made a name for themselves, put themselves up there. And Sri Lanka cricket heading in preparation for a World Cup, they're playing Afghanistan, and
we have to
it's an
qualify.
auto question where so getting into the qualifiers first, and normally around the 50 over or a World Cup, there's always these selections questions that pops up. So we'll try to look through them with her.
Yeah. So we've been away for a long time and a lot happened during that time. We are not going to get into things in the past. Let's try to stay in the present and what's going to happen in the future. So it's IPL Finals Eve, Gujarat and Chennai. Two Sri Lankan boys has been doing fantastically well for Chennai under Dhoni's captaincy. And we have a Sri Lankan in the Gujarat team, but Dasun Chanaka, he didn't have many opportunities. I don't think he'll feature in the final. So the way things are going, both teams have peaked at the right time. Or I can't pick a winner. Last season, Mumbai and Chennai, they finished 9th and 10th, and they both make to the finals. Mumbai made a late charge to make to the finals. Even though they made it to the final, they were not really a title contender. But I think the best two teams made it to the finals, Bora. So I want Chennai to win this. What do you think? What are your thoughts about the final?
Yeah, it's been a good tournament. Firstly, and I think this tournament is one thing where I felt there is a change of guard in terms of new players taking up the comp, and the future is going to set around them. And the teams that have introduced that set of players are the ones now in the back end. So like Shubman Gill's leading, he's pretty much the hot talent after Virat Kohli now. Who they feel is that next generation batsman they have. The ball in front, Mahesh Theekshana and Matheesha Pathirana taking over that, and which is a good one for us Sri Lankans, that two young bowlers picking up. And I mean, the other teams had the Rajasthan had the Jaiswals, Ishan Kishan for Mumbai Indians, Cameron Green, those guys now taking over and scoring runs. RCB missing a beat, still playing around Virat Kohli and a few of the older guys. They don't have like the next 5 years of batters. They don't have it. The Maxwell's, Fafs, they're just short term, so they'll struggle in the next few years. But between the two teams, I reckon I'm going with Chennai. I think they're a proven team that has done it, and they are now in the back end. And having the two Sri Lankans, I would just want to go with them. My feeling is most IPL finals, Chennai has found an old player who comes in and performs. I just have a feeling Ajinkya Rahane might have a beginning up his sleeve in the finals and turn it around for them. And hopefully, a dream end would be for us Sri Lankans is Matheesha Pathirana finishing up with a win, all in a good pressure over and coming on top. I reckon that will be what we as Sri Lankans would hope for to see, that he takes and delivers on that. So that's where I'm feeling. I know you get the Gujarat. I mean, they've done well. They've come in, on the back of some good wins and good last few years to be where they are. But so much things weighing on CSK at the moment. So I'm with him.
They know how to win finals, isn't it, Paras? And that Dhoni behind the wickets, that adds another 10-20% towards CSK because he's a cool cat, isn't he? Like, he doesn't get excited. He just handles the situations well, but he's not at his best when it comes to batting. He still hits few sixes, but you can see he doesn't run well between the wickets. So a lot will depend on Chennai's top order and their bowling, which Dhoni has been fantastic with handling the bowlers. I mean, he knows how the game is run. In that qualifier where he wasted some minutes just to get Matheesha to bowl that over, and he's a smart operator. So on the other hand, Gujarat they have a well balanced team. Batting runs deep. Gill is in his form of his life, hitting sixes, hitting fours, hitting hundreds. So it's going to be an interesting final. So yeah, I want Chennai to win too because these two Sri Lankans they change the attitude of South India towards Sri Lanka. You can see Matheesha Pathirana. He's the hottest property in world cricket at the moment. He hasn't played how many matches he played for Sri Lanka? Just one, I think, Bora.
We didn't want to expose him too early, so we kept him without playing him. I'm
Yes.
sure
I mean, yeah,
we
we'll
don't
be
want to expose him too early, so he doesn't get picked into an IPL team. So made sure that none of the batters get used to him. So which now you can see in the media, a lot of people coming up and saying this is how to look after him. That's
lots
one
of
of the reasons.
people. The people
That's
put
why
their
they did.
hands up now.
And
It'll
it's
be interesting to see if touch wood this guy catches an injury. It'll be interesting to see how many people will be with him. So
yeah, he's gonna cop an injury somewhere down the line. He's a fast bowler. So, but in terms of what he has achieved from, in terms of a platform where he could show his talent, IPL gave that platform. Everyone, like we've seen glimpses of his talent through under 19 when there's a video of him bowling in a net to getting picked. Similar action or it was made around Lasit Maling and being able to bowl and perform. But for some reason, we didn't expose him in a Sri Lankan setup. I think it's just the way the Sri Lankan setup is. It's very old school. You got to do the hard yards, become a senior member of the setup, and then tick a few boxes of who's seeing you, and then gradually get a chance to play. Which by that time he would have picked up an injury. Whereas the IPL goes, okay, we need a new talent who's young, fast bowlers. You got to breed them when they're young. They identified it, picked him, and gave him a platform to bowl and perform. And he's been fast track, and now Sri Lanka cricket sees the pressure to we have to play him now. I think that has come, and again, in a high performance environment, your performance can't keep you out. So as soon as you are shown you're in front of a camera and you're delivering, no one else can keep you out. So and he goes about his he looks like he's enjoying and his presence so far I've seen he carries himself very well. So that's something with social media, something to keep an eye out. I mean, at the moment it's a good wave for him, but I'm sure there's going to be a wave that's going to be where he'll feel a bit of the media and the fans try to drown him as well. So at the moment he's riding the wave. Once he's under the wave and feel a bit of the drown, um, those times are which is going to test him out a bit.
yeah. Good thing is, Bora, you can see he has a good support team around him. His family is always there, and you can see Chennai. I don't think they'll let him go. Looks like he's going to be Chennai's next 10-year player, like Lasit Maling used to be for Mumbai. So it'll be really foolish of them if they let him go.
I was going to add, when you say he's Chennai's next 10-year player, the question arises, what will they do to make sure he becomes that 10-year player? Is a good question.
Wow.
Because they'll make a change or make an offer to look after him or make him a Chennai Super Kings player. and decide when do I release him to play other forms of cricket. That could be international duty as well, which is now slowly becoming a talking point.
Well, that's already started, bro. I
Yeah.
mean, I think it's gonna happen. The world cricket is playing around IPL, and now with the Major League
Hmm.
Cricket in USA, which most of the teams are owned by IPL franchises. So it's gonna happen, bro. If I am Matheesha Pathirana, I will take that deal because with his action, he can't play all three formats. He plays cricket in Sri Lanka. This has happened to the other bowlers. Look at Dusmantha Chamira. Look at Lasit Malinga. Like when they get injured, there's no one there. The way things are going, if it comes to that, I'll pick the IPL.
And with Sri Lanka's position in world cricket at the moment, we're not playing much competitive cricket. So then you gotta make a decision and say, all right, maybe it's worthwhile sticking in that process because Sri Lanka wouldn't be playing much test cricket. We've seen how the test numbers have gone down.
I
We
imagine.
are we are in a situation similar to where we are not competing regularly. So then, and if you're not getting picked to play regularly as well,
Yeah.
um, your services are required by someone else. That's where Matheesha is seen. Probably we got to wait out in the next few months, years to decide what he wants to do. But being a player, I'm sure he'll want to experience test cricket, what it means, what it feels, or to see how he goes about in that format. I'm sure that might be a personal goal or a dream to achieve. Look, I need to see, experience what this is. I don't think he'll say, look, I don't want to play test cricket and kind of, shut down a lot of things. That's me
Mm.
personally. It'll be a scenario where, all right, how many games like if you get playing in Sri Lanka, maybe in test matches, if you play one test in a two test series and you rotate around, maybe that's a good way to look after him. But I mean, personally, at his age, you want to be playing as much as you can, right?
Yeah.
So then you're going to be wanting to play, expose yourself. And if you're to be marked as one of the best players in that era, you'll want to be testing yourself in the formats
Yeah.
and see how you're going. So from Matheesha, with his age, he'll probably want to give his best and see, yep, I want to be playing.
Mm.
It'll be the financial aspects of it where, okay, what happens for the next? Does it mean that his career shortens into a 3-year timeline instead of a 8 to 10 year timeline? Those are things, the pros and cons. Like you mentioned Dushmantha Chamira, I think like he was also at a peak when I think Lucknow, so
Yeah.
they picked up. He was playing. Soon as he got injured, you notice the demand's not there. Doesn't get picked in an IPL. Is working through. Coming back from injury, is he able to deliver at the same results he was getting through pre-injury?
Yeah.
Seems to be a bit more of a longer stay at the moment. So there are some examples for Matheesha to go through, but it's who's going to be giving those advices to him at the moment. Tony seems to be a person who's very, who's got him under his wing pretty much.
Bora, the way young cricketers think has changed. So if the franchise want you to give your best years of your cricket to the franchise and they're willing to pay you handsomely for those few years, young cricketers, I think they'll pick that over the country. It's nothing to do with the loyalty to your country or anything, but because it's a matter of time that your body will break down, right? And the
Yeah.
way the T20 cricket and the franchise cricket is evolve the way it evolves, like the example you mentioned about Dushmantha, like no one's going to pick you if you're injured. So those things, you have to think about those things as well. So you can't play
Yeah.
domestic, international, IPL. That's too many games.
If I'm Matheesha Pathirana, number one, I'll put myself under a good insurance package as a sportsman. Having that, I just feel he needs to look after himself so that there are, professional athletes. That's some more of a financial thing he needs to consider. But he's in demand. He's put himself up there. He's jumped the queue or in Sri Lanka in terms of the slingers. Sri Lanka had one more slinger in I think Nuwan Tushar. So seems
Yes.
to say he's jump ahead of him. Yeah, and then makes himself first choice pick. But that's more focus on the IPL. I think between the two, it'll be key people would be Shubman Gill, who's on the back of 400s. Looks like he's the guy who seems to be outscoring a lot of teams and sets up the wins for the Titans. So they'll be looking to him. David Miller's, they've got a very strong middle order to finish with Hardik Pandya, David Miller, and Rashid Khan. They introduced Dasun Shanaka into that, but don't think he grabbed his opportunity. So I don't think he'll feature in the finals unless something's shaken up and then he manages to get there. For the Chennai team, it'll be around the bowlers. The batting's fairly steady with Devon Conway, Rootwatch, the right hand batter, and I'm tipping Rahane to have a big knock. So then that's a market product what people want, even if it's a glimpse of it. That's the demand he's keeping, and we're like, he can contribute more. That's so much how big Dhoni has become as a player. So this IPL, if whatever marketing strategy, whether it's known or unknown, it's turned around really well. That it's a Dhoni IPL pretty much.
Well, looks like he's going to play another season for us. So we are both going for Chennai.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I'm with Chennai, and I
Me
think
too.
you're with Chennai, even though but let's
All right,
see.
let's call it then.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Catch up next week.
All right. Thank you. See you soon. Bye.